Welcome to the weekly market wrap-up. Now let's look at how the Nifty performed last week. The previous week, the Nifty closed at a very crucial level of 1614. The last time when Nifty breached this level, it dropped down a lot in just 2 days and quickly recovered. So this area of 16,260 and 15,670 formed a support zone before. So this closure at 16,410 was very crucial. A recovery at these levels would have signaled that market is moving more sideways rather than down. So this was a crucial level for the Nifty, and it gave us a hope of some recovery at this level. But that did not happen. On Monday, the Nifty opened much below the 16,260 levels. But as you can see on this day, the Nifty closed up, indicating some buyers were coming. And on Tuesday again, we see that it was a doji, but the long wick indicates the selling was more. And on Wednesday, we could see the Nifty closed up, but it dropped down a lot and recovered to close in the middle, again indicating there was some attempt from some buyers to prop up the Nifty. But on Thursday, we had a big gap down opening and the Nifty closed much down below, near the lows. And again on Friday, we had a good gap up opening, but that could not be sustained, and it closed a little lower than the previous day, and the volume on these 2 days were above the average volume. So any close below this 15,670 level would indicate that the Nifty is making another lower low, confirming that we are entering a much bigger bear market. Now let's look at how the overall market fared compared to the Nifty. Here I have the chart of the Nifty, but on the second pane I have the overall market buy volume, that is the entire market buy volume. And in the third pane I have the overall market sell volume, and the last one has the overall market volume, not just the Nifty volume. Just to recap, these gray bars are indicating the normal activity with some declines or advances are more than the declines, and the volume was not too high here. The buy and sell volumes were not much different. The green bars indicate that the buy volumes were 3 times higher than the sell volume, and the bars, which is the square on top, indicate in addition to the buy volume being 3 times higher than the sell volume, the advances were 5 times the declines. And it is exactly vice versa for the sell volume. As we can see that as the market closed down or came down, the sell volumes were much more than the buy volumes, and the declines were 5 times the advances. But we can notice that the volumes, overall market volumes, were much lower than the average. And on Friday, you can see the overall volume was very low, whereas the Nifty volume was higher. The Nifty stocks volumes were higher, and the declines were only two times the advances. That means many of the stocks made some recovery on this Friday. And also, given to the overall global cues, we could see some recovery from the current levels. Does not mean that we are entering in a bullish phase, but we could see some recovery from these levels in the coming week. If anybody is interested in these market indicators, there's a separate video on that in my channel. And also the AFLs for the ME broker are available in the from my blog. So anybody interested can look at it. Now let's quickly look at the sectors. Now, as you can see how the sectors performed in the last week compared to the overall wider market index of NSE 500. This does not mean that these are bullish, but these performed better than the NSE 500, or they fell lesser than the NSE 500. That what it means. It does not mean that these are bullish sectors and one should immediately start investing in them. So as you can see, IT was recovering, or rather it was doing very badly compared to the overall market, but it is now faring better compared to the overall market. Energy is doing bad. Auto is doing bad. Pharma also saw some improvement. Metals are one of the worst performers. And there was some improvements in the banking and the Nifty services, as you can see here. And also some improvements in MNC. The services sector was doing quite okay for some time. The consumption sector again was lagging. The media saw some little improvement last week. The infra is doing very bad. Realty is doing very bad. The FMCG is one sector which has been performing much better in the last, from we can say last 2 months. We can say it weakened a little in between, but now again improved. That means these were falling lesser than the overall market. That's what we can see here. Can also look at the favorite chart which I post on a weekly basis. Now you can see the Bank Nifty was improving, and now it has become leading sector. Again, to emphasize, these are not like bullish sectors, but these are doing better than the overall market, indicating they're falling lesser, you can say. And auto, you can say some improvement. Consumption is doing bad. Energy is doing bad. Nifty services doing better. FMCG, you can see it was doing better. And infra, media, metals, all are, you can see all in red. Pharma saw some improvement. The services sector also some improvement. And IT, of course, some improvement you can see. This is how overall we performed. If you look at the quad charts, you can see the strong sectors are the FMCG, services, MNC, and this is the Nifty Financial Services. Banking and pharma are on the edge, and the bad ones are the metal. Metal is the worst. Realty, Nifty Media, Nifty Energy. Unfortunately, I cannot show you the so-called RRG charts, as I've been asked not to use them or publicly use them by the RRG charts people. I'm not able to show this. This is how the overall sector performance have been in the last week. Now, let's quickly look at some of the stocks which showed some strength on Friday when the market could not sustain the gap up opening. You can see 70 odd stocks showed strength in terms of a stopping volume or a possible end of downs trend, start of uptrend zone. These are all showing strength on Friday. These including some good stocks like L&T, SKF, Relaxo, Polycab, Dixon, DMart. So these are showing strength. But this does not mean that immediately they will move up, but these are showing some buying coming in, and so we could be seeing the end of downtrend for these stocks. These are worth watching. Now let's look at some of the stocks which on a weekly chart showed strength. Last week when we saw the market going down, some of these stocks were showing strength. Now the first one I could see was IGL, where you can see an effort to move up bar, and also you can see the delivery volumes which shows committed buying coming here. You can see Tata Elxsi, huge amount of delivery volumes coming in here, and also Polycab, again huge delivery volumes, huge gap up opening and an effort to move up bar. Polycab here, lot of delivery volumes coming in. That means committed buyers are stepping in. India Glycol, again showing some strength. Cali Point is again showing some strength in terms of even delivery volumes, high delivery volumes. So these are the stocks which should be on your watch list. These could be the movers when the recovery of the market happens. So these could be on your watch list. Now let us look at few of the stocks where the strength is returning in terms of stopping volume or buying coming in here. So first one is APL Apollo. You can see the strength in the weekly chart. It moved up, but the volumes are not high. So this is still till the volume comes in. We need to watch this. Campina Homes, okay. Coforge, you can see a lot of buying coming in here, interested buying coming here, stopping volumes. It did not move. It is able to sustain this level. Happiest Minds, again same, you can see a lot of interested buying, committed buying, and did not move down too much. IRCTC, again you can see some interested buying coming here. Larsen and Toubro, you can see again a lot of interested buying. 2 days you can see the stopping volume. Sun Pharma, it fared much better compared to the overall market, and lots of buying coming in here. So these are some of the strong stocks. Both these lists, the weekly and the Fridays and the weekly list, I will be posting in my Twitter account. you're interested, you can see this. And thank you for watching the small video on the market wrap up. Thank you very much.